There's a video out there encouraging people to skip the New Mutants team, saying that the team will already be counted. They're going to be power crept because they're the last team to come out for 2025. And with the new stat increase in 2026, they're just going to be left in the dust. Now, I just want to make sure that we talk about this because I think there's some clarification that needs to be had. The reason why we want to bring this up is because we recognize that people are in different stages of the game, different stages of progression. So sometimes when people are newer to mid-game players, if they skip teams, the detriment to their account is magnified, right? It's magnified. For example, I've been playing the game since day one. I skipped Brimstone. I skipped Accursed. Why? Because I don't like demons, right? You know me, I don't like demons. I don't get down. What was the price that I had to pay for that? Well, I'm not able to score as high in Battle World. I'm definitely not able to score as high when fighting against the Sentry. I'm not able to get points necessary to catch up, if you want to say that, when fighting the new endgame null fight. Okay, I knew that going in. I understand that there's going to be a price to pay for that, but there's people coming behind us that may not quite understand that you just can't skip a bunch of teams. I mean, you do what you want. If you don't want to spend on a team, you don't want to use power cores on the team, if you just want to wait for the free-to-play release, that's fine too. But just completely skipping out on a team, you have to understand there's going to be some consequences with that decision. Now, it's important that, again, to make a good decision, you got to have the right information. So do we have the right information? What was the statement that was made? Well, the statement that was made is that, again, the new teams that are coming out, their stats are just going to be so big, they're going to crush and eliminate the New Mutants because they're the last old team coming out for 2025. The evidence that was given was showing off some of the new teams that came out and showing how they dominated in their space. Again, that's good information. I like that, right? There's logic to that discussion. However, I think we're kind of oversimplifying things and missing a point when it comes to this New Mutants team. For example, the information that was given, Night Stalkers, Orcus, right? Those teams, when they came in, they did a lot of damage. They were great teams. They steamrolled over a lot of content, over a lot of other teams. But why was that? It was because they had the ability to take advantage of speed, right? They got extra speed. They're raid teams that outside of raid, they got extra speed. Because they're able to manipulate speed in a turn-based game, that made them very strong. Night Stalkers specifically, they're able to put negative effects very, very quickly. They're able to ability block very, very quickly and stop the opponent from being able to move. Orcus, they're able to flip effects. They get immunity relatively early. They got immunity, safeguard, so it's hard to stop them, right? It's hard to slow them down. It's hard to give them negative effects. They can flip them. They resist them, right? So those were the things that made those two teams difficult to deal with. What about the New Mutants? Well, the New Mutants, they have the opposite mechanic. They stop you from being able to ramp up your speed, especially in Cosmic Crucible. So that limits the amount of teams that can really hit them first. You have to be able to hit them first, drill through their tank, which is Cannonball, and then you probably got to be able to take out Warlock before he starts taking turns. He goes third on the New Mutants team. I got a video coming out about him specifically tomorrow. But essentially, once Warlock takes a turn, every time when he takes a turn, he kind of resets the match. Right? In one way or another, he's flipping things, he's removing things, and he kind of just resets the match. So it's 0-0. More than likely, Wolfsbane on your side is going next. She's a damage dealer, so you get to dictate the pace of the match from that point. Because of that, I don't see, right? You would have to be a very strong team to just punch through, get that Alpha Strike, as we've been saying, eliminate Cannonball, and then eliminate Warlock before he can take a turn. It's possible, right? Some of the testing that I've been doing, Damon Hellstrom on the Brimstone team, he hits really hard. You might hear my dog barking there. She's trying to get in, but we're recording. We already pressed record. It's going live, so we're not going to redo it. Damon Hellstrom, he hits really hard. He goes early. You get a critical strike. He can, right, punch through Cannonball. He can put some traumas out there and can cause problems for the New Mutants. But how many teams are going to be able to do that? Right? The Winter Guard, they look good, but they're made for Alliance War. A lot of what they are doing isn't going to carry over into Crucible. So are they going to be able to go first, get the Alpha Strike? Do they have enough power to punch through Cannonball and then eliminate Warlock before Warlock takes a turn? I don't know. They're not on the test server. I didn't get a chance to test them. But all I can say is this: when it comes to Cosmic Crucible right now, everything that I play with, and I'm just going with vanilla teams, New Mutants can crush everything. Why? Partly because they get to go in the turn order that they're prescribed. They stop you from using speed mechanics to get ahead of them. And then they flip and change and block and stop you from doing, they disrupt you from doing what you want to do. They're a really good team. One of the comparisons that was given was to the Annihilators. Again, good point. When the Annihilators came on the scene, they destroyed everything. They were a great team. New stats definitely helped them to do that. However, there's another point that we're missing out on when it comes to the Annihilator team. What's their purpose? Well, the Annihilators are they're an arena team. They're an arena team. Now, we might not fully grasp what that means. When an arena team comes out, they have to be so good that they beat the previous generation of arena team, right? And that is including the fact that by the time this next team comes out, we'll have other super strong characters. So we think about like Odin, we think about Mephisto, Super Skrull, Black Knight, Old Man Logan. So characters like that they were kind of in mind, but they didn't exist whenever the original team came out. And then people usually pop out two of the expendable team members and pop in these ultra strong characters. Whoever the new arena team is, the vanilla team, without any of the extra stuff, needs to still be able to beat the old arena team. That usually means, they need to be significantly strong. They need to have a serious stat boost, but it also means they generally bring new mechanics to the game that we haven't seen yet. They have new stuff that no one can guard against because it didn't exist in the game until that time. So we think about Thanos Endgame, right? His just going to decay, right? The decay effect kind of came in a little bit, but not the way with Thanos. He can just decay all your effects, hit you for big damage. He gets to go pretty quickly after with a stun. We have Gore, speed bar manipulation right off the bat, ability block relatively quickly. It's tough to deal with that. An excellent tank like Gladiator. Can't think of the guy's name. Excellent tank like Gladiator, who, I mean, he has a health pool. You had to hit him, and he hits back hard. He's going to go in stealth, drop the taunt, and as soon as he gets enough power back, right, when he goes to stealth, he's stacking regens. So if he takes another turn, he heals up, and now you got to deal with him again. At that time, we didn't have a whole lot, right, to deal with all three of those individuals. That was something that had to be brought into the game later, and that's intentional, right? Same way for the Fantastic Four MCU. They got new mechanics that we really haven't seen before. Franklin Richards can shut down battlefield effects. Sue Storm, her damage is just insane. You have control effects very, very quickly. Speed buffs if you have multiple members of the team. Again, it's tough to get around. So when it comes to the Annihilators, it's not, again, simply that they had new stats. It's because they literally are made to defeat right out of the gate the strongest characters that exist in the game, right? We have to take that into consideration, right? That's part of the process as well. So what are we saying? What's the point? What are we trying to get to? I don't think that the New Mutants are going to be eclipsed with the next team that's coming out. Again, especially since the next team is not a Crucible team, they're a war team. Worst case scenario, if that's true, if it's true, worst case scenario, you have the best Crucible team in the game that will be bumped down to number 2. But it's not just that team, right? It is all teams that will be bumped down. So the lowest Crucible team will get bumped out, right? Everybody will get bumped down. And if that's the trend, I highly doubt that every team that comes out from now on is just going to be so ridiculous that they're going to eliminate the New Mutants. That would mean they would not be viable on offense 6 months from now, right? You wouldn't use them on offense anymore in 6 months, and then it would take another 6 months to push them out of the Crucible meta altogether. So we're talking about a year before they wouldn't be good. And again, I just don't see that happening. I just don't see every team coming into the game that they're just so ridiculous, regardless of the game mode that they're made for, that they're able to outperform a dedicated Cosmic Crucible team. I just don't see it. Let's think, for example, about some of the teams that we got fairly recently. Raid teams, for example. Vigilante. Vigilante is a great team, right? They were good when we got them. Mind blowing. What was the next team to come out after that for raids? Thunderbolts. Well, people say Thunderbolts isn't good. Thunderbolts is decent. They're not bad. They just are not as amazing as the Vigilante team. And now that time has gone on, we've learned to kind of plug and play and move around, and people have made some pretty potent teams using Thunderbolt members. But it takes time, right? You need other pieces of the puzzle to do that. And that's something that happens. That's expected. In like matter, we got the New Mutants. 3, right? You need Warlock plus 3. So that leaves you a member that is expendable. Warlock plus 3, and the team functions. So even then, that means you can pop somebody out, put in a meta character, and they're going to be even more ridiculous to deal with than they were before. I'm really curious to see how this turns out. I could be completely wrong on this, but my gut tells me I'm not. That the team is going to be good, that they're going to be fine. Again, worst case scenario, it's going to take a year before they completely pushed out of the meta. And I just don't see every team that comes in, regardless of their lane that they play in, good enough to single-handedly push the New Mutants out of the meta. But I guess we'll have to see. Tomorrow, I got a video coming out about Warlock. So you'll be able to see the team kind of more in action. You'll get to see how things are going to go. You're going to get to see what it is that he brings to the table. And so then after that, after we see what Warlock can actually do, we'll have a much better understanding of how the team functions. And then we'll be able to make a better assessment. So what do you think? Do you think that we're on the right track here? Is the team skippable? Is the team going to be debunked? Right? Are they going to be eliminated with the Winter Guard? When the Winter Guard hits, is that going to be the end of the New Mutants team? I'm curious. 2026 is gearing up to be something interesting. I want to know what you think is going to happen. I want to know what team you're actually looking forward to. Hey, if you haven't seen this video right here, please check it out. It's legit.